Welcome to Swiflearn online classes. As you already know that Swiflearn is the India's most sincere learning destination from classes 1 to 10. Over here, all the classes are 100% live and interactive classes. Right now, in these classes, maximum 6 students can be present. This help the student to ask any sort of doubt regarding the topic, as well as this help us to clear all the doubts of the students in the classes only. Isn't it good? Yes. Now, coming to the third thing which we have is we have a very good dedicated academic mentor team who continuously keep a track on the students' progress, how you are doing in the classroom, how you are doing in the homework, whether you are properly doing the classes and the homework or not, and definitely in which topic you are totally uh, prepared and which topic you are lagging. So everything will be tracked, and accordingly you will get the feedback, and this feedback definitely will help you to improve yourself, right? Now, coming to the fourth thing, which is we cover the syllabus as per your school examination schedule. Like if you have any sort of topic which we have not done yet, so you can tell it to us. We will do those topics first, and finally we will move on to the rest of the topics which are there in your syllabus, right? So this type of custom request generally we handle. Now, coming to our key features. So first of all, our first key feature is a very important thing, that is we maintain the detailed progress report of each and every student. This help the student also to get the feedback in certain interval. There will be PTM also, जैसे आपके स्कूल में भी PTM होता है, इधर भी PTM होता है. आपका पेरेंट्स का अगर कोई डाउट होगा या फिर फीडबैक देना होगा, वो PTM में दे सकते हैं. And definitely mutually we will solve all the problems, and this definitely will help you to improve in your academics, right? Now, coming to the second thing which we have is the SAT, that is the Swiflearn Academic Test Series, which happen in every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can perform over here, and you will be able to understand what is your rank all over India. So the rank along with your name will be given on the leaderboard, right? Now, coming to the most important thing of learning, that is practice. Yes, you already know that the practice makes a man perfect, right? Yes, so after completing each and every topic, what you have to do? You have to do practice of the different question answers. So we have unlimited practice test over here. The different assessments are also there, mock tests are also there. So what you have to do after completing each topic of any subject, you can just go to the practice test series and you can definitely practice the different question answer. So ऑब्जेक्टिव सब्जेक्टिव दोनों तरीके का क्वेश्चन है. ऑब्जेक्टिव में जैसे आपके स्कूल में आते हैं एमसीक्यूज, ट्रू फॉल्स, मैच द कॉलम, फिलिंग द ब्लैंक्स, दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस विल बी देयर. एंड सब्जेक्टिव में 3 मार्क और 5 मार्क का क्वेश्चन रहेंगे. एंड दिस सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन में ही तो आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा मार्क लूज करते हो, है ना? Yes. So when you were writing the answer over here and you were submitting, so we have a very good group of teacher who will definitely correct all your question answer and give you the tips and tricks how to write the answer in the subjective question. And definitely we will give you the tips kahan diagram include karna hai, kahan equation like chemical equation include karna hai, kahan graph include karna hai. So ye sab hum tricks and tips de denge which will help you to get full marks in your subjective टेस्ट ऑल्सो, राइट? सो ऑब्जेक्टिव और सब्जेक्टिव दोनों में अगर फुल मार्क्स हो जाए तो टोटली 100 आउट ऑफ 100 आ जाएगा, राइट? Yes, in the board exam as well as the school exam. Yes. So to experience all these feature, what you have to do? Yes, you already know that you have to book the free trial class, right? All the trial classes are free of cost. Book it anytime according to your convenient, and we will definitely meet in the classes. We will discuss a lot of different types of topic, right? And you can again enroll your name after the trial class. You can enroll the name in your regular batches. So in our regular batches we will discuss a lot about the different topics, है ना? Chalo. So let us now start with today's session, and let me remind you who have not subscribed our channel, please subscribe it now and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any of the update of the upcoming session. ठीक है, तो 30 मिनट पहले आपके पास नोटिफिकेशन चले जाएंगे कि ये सेशन अभी शुरू होने वाला है, एंड यू विल बी टोटली प्रिपेयर्ड विथ योर बुक्स, पेन, नोटबुक एंड एवरीथिंग, and you can definitely chat with us in the chat box. If you have any sort of doubt, please write it in the chat box, and we will clear all your doubt, right? So stay with me till the end of the session and do not forget to like, comment and share also. Chalo. As you already know, we were doing the chapter transpiration, which is there in ICSE syllabus of class 10th, right? Transpiration ka thoda sa idea aapka already the in class 8. You have already studied about the transpiration, very little about transpiration, and we have discussed a lot about the transpiration in the first two session. ये सेशन नंबर 3 है, तो पहले दो सेशन में हमने ऑलरेडी ट्रांसपीरेशन के बारे में बहुत कुछ सीख लिया, right? What we have studied in the previous session, remember? Yes. And also those who have not attended the previous session, you can find this video in the YouTube channel only, right? Chalo. So we have already studied about the different experiments which are proving that transpiration takes place through the plants. Then we have studied about the different types of transpiration. There are three main types of transpiration. Kya kya hai? Yes, quickly give me the answer in the chat box. What are the three main types of transpiration which we have studied in the previous session? And then we studied about that what are the different factors which are affecting transpiration, both the external and the internal factor. Quickly give me the answer कि कौन सा different types का transpiration हमने already पढ़ चुके थे previous session में. Let me see who can give me the answer in chat box. And as you already know that whoever will give me most of the answers correctly in the chat box, he or she will be the student of the session. और उसके नाम मैं last में screen में लिखूंगी, right? Yes? Chalo. Quickly give me the answer. What are the different types of transpiration? In the meantime, let us discuss what we will study today. In today's session, basically, we will discuss about the transpiration pool. Transpiration pool क्या है हम देखेंगे. Then we will study about the opening and the closing of stomata. ये opening and closing of the stomata you have already studied in the previous session, previous chapter also. जैसे photosynthesis chapter में भी अपने पढ़ चुके थे, तो we will discuss the same thing over here without the theory. अपने उधर theory भी पढ़े हैं, अभी हम सिर्फ रिजिडिटी के बारे में देखेंगे कि क्या कैसे गार्ड सेल्स का रिजिडिटी बढ़ते हैं और कम हो जाते हैं, एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट कैसे ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग ऑफ द स्टोमाटा होता है, एंड ऑल्सो हाउ दिस ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग ऑफ द स्टोमाटा हेल्प्स इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ ट्रांसपिरेशन, राइट? Then we will move on to the different adaptations which are made by various plants. Basically, to be very specific, the desert plants, right? The xerophytes. You already know what are the xerophytes. The plants which grow in the desert region, जहाँ बहुत dry condition होता है, okay, and the पानी बहुत कम मिलते हैं, right? So उधर कैसे ट्रांसपिरेशन के चेक करते हैं, वो डिफरेंट तरीके का प्लांट्स का डिफरेंट एडेप्टेशन होता है, दोज वी विल डिस्कस. देन वी विल मूव ऑन टू द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ ट्रांसपिरेशन, कि ट्रांसपिरेशन का क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है, व्हाई दिस ट्रांसपिरेशन इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक ऑफ द प्लांट और अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फिजियोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस ऑफ द प्लांट. और ये टॉपिक आपको क्यों क्लास 10th में दिया गया है, ठीक है? हम देखेंगे कि कितना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है हमारे इन्वायरमेंट के लिए ट्रांसपिरेशन. ओके, देन वी विल मूव ऑन टू द एंटी ट्रांसपेरेंट. एंटी ट्रांसपेरेंट मतलब ये वर्ड से ही पता चल जाता है कि which will check out or reduce the rate of transpiration. ठीक है, बहुत सारे केमिकल है which basically reduce the rate of transpiration. हम क्यों ये एंटी ट्रांसपेरेंट्स यूज करते हैं और कहाँ करते हैं, we will definitely discuss. And then we will move on to the last topic, that is the loss of water by the plant. That is definitely the transpiration के अलावा भी बहुत सारे प्रोसेसेस रहता है, मेनली द टू स्पेसिफिक प्रोसेस, वन इज गटेशन एंड अनदर वन इज द ब्लीडिंग. ठीक है, क्योंकि हमने ऑलरेडी पढ़ लिया कि ट्रांसपिरेशन मतलब लॉस ऑफ वाटर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वाटर वेपर, है ना? वाटर वेपर के फॉर्म में जो वाटर लॉस होता है उसको हम ट्रांसपिरेशन कहते हैं. पर डायरेक्टली वाटर जैसे कैसे लॉस होता है प्लांट से, this will come under guttation and bleeding. We will mainly study about the guttation and bleeding in the last of this session. ठीक है, all of you are ready? Yes, quickly tell me hi, hello in the chat box so that I can understand who are there, who are listening to my listening to the session. Yes, I can see many of you are there. चलो, सो लेट अस स्टार्ट विद द ट्रांसपिरेशन पुल। ये हमारे फर्स्ट टॉपिक है आज के सेशन का। तो ट्रांसपिरेशन पुल, ये दोनों वर्ड से आपके माइंड में क्या आ रहे हैं बताओ? Anything from these two words, transpiration pull? Transpiration, तो definitely we already know about it कि transpiration is the process by which the plant lose the excess amount of water in the form of the water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. This we already know, right? Aerial parts of the plant मतलब क्या क्या transpiration होता है, कहाँ से होता है? एरियल पार्ट्स मतलब जो एयर के डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट में रहता है, दैट मीन्स फ्रॉम द स्टोमाटा विच आर प्रेजेंट ऑन द लीव्स, cuticle which is the uppermost layer of the leaves of the upper layer, upper epidermis के ऊपर जो waxy layer रहता है, that is the cuticle. And we have studied about transpiration also takes place through the lenticels. lenticels कहाँ रहता है? Mostly in the stem. ठीक है? तो दिस स्टोमाटल ट्रांसपिरेशन, क्यूटिक्यूलर ट्रांसपिरेशन और लेंटिक्यूलर ट्रांसपिरेशन जब होता है, देन सर्टेन पूल टेक्स प्लेस, पूलिंग फोर्स टेक्स प्लेस और पूलिंग इफेक्ट टेक्स प्लेस विद इन द प्लांट बॉडी. Okay, and that pool basically helps to draw the water upward towards the leaves, and this is known as transpiration pool. बहुत सिंपल है, देखो इधर, look at this picture. See, the water molecules are present in the soil. They are basically absorbed by the root. हुआ, रूट के अंदर गए, रूट से स्टेम में कहा कैसे जाएंगे? थ्रू द जाइलम वेसल, राइट? द जाइलम वेसल्स आर मेकिंग द कॉलम, राइट? वन अबव अनदर, इट इज मेकिंग अ कंटिन्यूअस कॉलम. ठीक है, तो ये by following this continuous column, it will go upward and it will finally go to the leaves, right? Through the veins of the leaves it will enter the leaf and finally it will be distributed. ठीक है, अभी देखो, when the leaves are having this water molecule, it will finally go to the stomata, right? Now through the stomata क्या होगा? Water will go out of the plant body through as a, in the form of water vapor. ठीक है, तो water loss जब हो जाएंगे तब क्या होगा? yes, तब क्या होगा? इधर का जो भी वाटर मॉलिक्यूल है वो एम्प्टी हो जाएगा, है ना? There will be no excess amount of water vapor in the leaves. So when there is an emptiness which will be created in the stem and the leaves, that is needed to be fulfilled. Yes, that is needed to be filled up with the water molecule again. तो ये empty जब हो जाते हैं, it creates a suction pressure. ये suction pressure क्या करते हैं? It basically helps to pull the water molecule so that more and more water molecule will fill up the gap and finally it will move on to the leaves. Clear है? And this suction pressure to pull the water upward through the leaves, through the xylem vessel to the leaves, is known as transpiration pull. Clear? फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, आप देखो, आप जब स्ट्रॉ से कोल्ड ड्रिंक्स पीते हो, क्या होता है? you need to suck the straw, right? First there is a gap and to fill up the gap the cold drinks come up inside your mouth. yes, तो similar type of suction pressure इधर भी xylem vessel में created होता है. when there is loss of water from the leaves, the portion becomes empty and the water will move through the leaves, the veins and all, and finally it will fill up that position or that portion of the plant, and again, like, more and more water will be absorbed from the soil. So continuously ये water का molecule एक column बना के रह जाएंगे and that is known as the transpiration pool. Up to this much clear? Transpiration pool क्या है? Yes. Now let us move on to the next topic. आज का topic ना बहुत छोटा छोटा topic है, ठीक है? तो it is very much easy for you to remember also. Second topic is the opening and the closing of the stomata. Stomata को तो open करना होगा, फिर तो water loss होगा, है ना? Yes, you already have an idea कैसे stomata opening and closing होता है, and also you have an idea about the structure of the stomata. देखो, what is stomata? It is basically the pores which are present mostly in the underside of the leaves and very less on the lower upper side of the leaves. Okay, तो lower side में ज्यादा रहता है, upper side में कम रहता है. क्यों? लेट मी सी हु कैन गिव हिम दिस आंसर बाय थिंकिंग. हाँ, ऊपर साइड में क्यों कम रहता है और लोअर साइड में क्यों ज्यादा स्टोमाटा रहता है. ठीक है, चलो देखते हैं कौन देते हैं मुझे आंसर इन द चैट बॉक्स. आई विल डिस्कस डेफिनेटली दिस आंसर एट द लास्ट ऑफ दिस सेशन. ओके, एंड ऑफ द सेशन. चलो, so this happens in case of the dicotyledonous plant, but in case of the monocotyledonous plant ऊपर और नीचे दोनों एपिडर्मिस में ही स्टोमाटा सिमिलर अमाउंट का रहता है. ओके, द नंबर ऑफ स्टोमाटा विल बी ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर in case of the monocotyledonous plant. Now what will happen? The stomata is the pore which is basically guarded by the two guard cells. Yes, the kidney shaped or the bean shaped guard cell आप देख रहे हो. These are the two cells which are known as the guard cells which are guiding the stomata. Now उसके ऊपर जो आसपास में cells रहता है, these are nothing but the epidermal cells. Fine, up to this much clear. Now you already have an idea कि डे टाइम में उसका gaseous exchange ज़्यादा होना चाहिए for the process of photosynthesis. So mostly the stomata, opening of the stomata takes place in the daytime, during the daytime, and it closes mostly during the night time. Yes, and what is the main purpose of the stomata? Basically the gaseous exchange takes place and the water vapor go out of the plant body in the process of transpiration. These are the main two purposes of the स्टोमाटा. अभी हम देखेंगे कि ये स्टोमाटा ओपन और क्लोज होता कैसे है. ओके, नाउ थिंक when there is excess amount of water present in the guard cell, what will happen? See, when there is the excess amount of water present in the guard cell, we can see that definitely it will move into the guard cells. और गार्ड सेल में ज्यादा से ज्यादा पानी आके क्या कर जाएगा? It will make the guard cells turgid. Turgid मतलब बहुत टाइट हो जाएगा. Okay, the turgid हो जाएगा, rigid हो जाएगा. And this turgidity help to bend the guard cells like this, like the crescent shaped, C shaped ऐसे bend हो जाएगा. And definitely the stomatal pores are opened. Yes, you can see the stomatal pore. Yes. Okay. Now, this will cause the opening of the stomatal pore. This is nothing but the turgidity of the guard cell. Due to the excess amount of water which are coming inside the guard cell makes the guard cell turgid, and this turgidity will help to bend the guard cell, and finally what will happen? The stomata will be opened. अभी ये बेंडिंग कैसे होगा? Why will the bending of this guard cell takes place? Because always remember that the inner side of the guard cell is thicker. देखो मैं थोड़ा सा इधर point कर रही हूँ. The inner side of the guard cells is comparatively thicker than the outer side of the guard cell. क्लियर है? ये इनर साइड कंपैरेटिवली थिकर होता है, आउटर साइड एकदम थीन होता है. ओके, नाउ व्हेन द वाटर will enter inside the guard cell, what will happen? This thicker area or the thickened membrane of the guard cell will become rigid, and it will contract and it will bend, and thus results in the opening of the stomata. Clear? And always remember, all this happened due to the proper orientation of the microfibers. Okay, the stomata are having the microfibers, all the cells जैसे हमारे cells में भी microfibers रहते हैं. So this orientation of the microfibers basically helps in the opening of the stomata. तो ये radial जो orientation रहता है microfibril का, you will study this in the higher grades. Okay, when you will go to class 11 12th, you will study about how the arrangement of the microfibrils takes place. Just now you just remember कि microfibrils भी help करते हैं guard cell को rigid होने में. Okay, and whenever it is becoming rigid, what will happen? Stomata will be opened. ठीक है? Now what will happen? How will the stomata closed? When the water loss already takes place. पानी उधर से निकल गया in the form of water vapor. In the atmosphere it has gone. So now what will happen? The guard cell का rigidity तो नहीं रहेगा तब. क्या हो जाएगा? It will become flexible. Yes, all the water loss takes place and it will become flexible, and finally it will closes the stomata. Clear है? तो always remember, when the guard cell is becoming turgid, stomata opens, mainly during the daytime जो हम देखते हैं, and when the guard cell is becoming flaccid or flexible, the stomata will be closed, जो हम most of the cases में रात को देखते हैं, right? Up to this much clear है ना? Yes. Now, this we have already mentioned कि most of the stomata are present in the underside or the lower side of the leaves in case of the dicotyledonous plant. But upper side में कम रहता है. But in case of the monocotyledonous plant, we have already said कि ऊपर में और नीचे में in both the epidermis region or both the faces, upper side of the leaves as well as the lower side of the leaves, number of stomata will be equal. Fine? Up to this much clear? Yes. Now let's move on to the third topic of today, that is the adaptation. कैसे different xerophytic plants का adaptation होता है and how they basically manage this process of transpiration where there is very less amount of water available in the region. Okay, so as you already know that transpiration basically helps in all the different types of processes. जैसे it helps in the transportation, it helps to give a proper cooling effect to the plant, it helps to create a proper channel within the plant body so that the continuous movement of the water molecule as well as the minerals will take place, right? Then also if the transpiration happens excessively, मतलब अगर loss of water बहुत excessive हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा? Definitely the plant will die, because if they do not have that much amount of water in the soil, they won't be able to absorb that much amount of water, है ना? तो उतना amount of water तो plant body में जाएगा नहीं, और अगर ये transpiration ज़्यादा हो जाएगा तो definitely the plant will be totally dried off and it will die. Yes, तो इसीलिए ना हम ट्रांसपिरेशन को नेसेसरी एविल कहते हैं. नेसेसरी तो है ट्रांसपिरेशन बिकॉज यू विल स्टडी लेटर ऑन कि most of this transpiration basically helps in the maintaining of the water cycle. Forest में क्या होता है? For most of the transpiration the water loss takes place in the form of water vapor. Water vapor जितना ज़्यादा होगा environment में, it will go up to the sky, it will form the cloud and it will precipitation will take place, right? Do you agree with me? So the transpiration is very much important for maintaining a proper water cycle in our environment also. Yes, clear hai? And but if the excessive water loss takes place, then what will happen? Definitely the plant will dry. Yes, so now we will see that the plant will not die due to excessive loss of the water vapor in certain region जहाँ water availability बहुत कम है, जैसे in case of the desert region. Okay, and the plants which grow in the desert region are known as the xerophytes. We have already studied it, right? So we will see now what are the different morphological and the anatomical changes or adaptation that takes place, which takes place in the xerophytes to reduce the excess amount of transpiration. Now before going to the specific type of plant कि कैसे होता है, let us first find out कि morphological change या anatomical features का मतलब क्या है. Okay, any idea? Any of you, can you tell me? Yes, what do you mean by morphological change and what do you mean by anatomical change? Morphological मतलब कोई structure, morph मतलब ही structure है, ठीक है? Morph, if you just think about the word morph, morph means any form, okay? Any structural form or any change in the structure or structural feature of plants and animals will be the morphological features of a plant or animal. क्लियर है? एंड व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय एनाटॉमिकल? एनाटॉमिकल फीचर मतलब हमारा एनाटॉमी, मतलब अंदर क्या है. इफ यू डिसेक्ट माय बॉडी और इफ यू डिसेक्ट एनी प्लांट्स बॉडी और एन एनिमल्स body, what will you find inside the body? The cells and the tissues after which are doing all the different physiological activities, whatever you will find inside, those will come under the anatomical structure. Clear है? यस. तो मॉर्फोलॉजी मतलब द स्ट्रक्चरल पोर्शन, इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल, बेसिकली द एक्सटर्नल स्ट्रक्चरल फीचर. एंड एनाटॉमी मतलब जो इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर होता है जो हम डिसेक्शन करने के बाद हमें मिलते हैं अंडर द माइक्रोस्कोप, वट एवर यू विल सी आफ्टर डिसेक्शन. क्लियर है? नाउ वी विल सी कि मॉर्फोलॉजिकल और एनाटॉमिकल चेंजेस क्या क्या होता है इन केस ऑफ द xerophytic plants. Now, first we will go for the morphological adaptation. Have you ever seen or have you ever imagined कि most of the plants which are present in the desert like acacia बोलो या फिर cactus बोलो या फिर palm tree or pine tree बोलो, sometimes which are farm the date palm and all, तो आपने देखा कि उसके trees में most of the cases the leaves are transferred into spines. Yes, क्यों होता है? Because the leaves are the surface area. Okay, so leaves are, when the broad leaves are there तो surface area उधर ज्यादा होगा. तो broad जब होगा तो definitely the stomata will be present which are coming in direct contact with the air. तो उधर transpiration ज्यादा होगा. Yes, do you agree? But uh, in case of the cactus or any other xerophytic plants क्या होगा? The leaves are modified into spines, right? तो वो उसका surface area एकदम छोटा हो गया. तो surface area जब छोटा हो जाएंगे तो क्या होगा? Definitely the loss of water will be very less. Yes, it will reduce the rate of transpiration. Okay, and that is why we generally see the different spines on the cactus or any plants which grow in the desert region or which we call as the xerophytic plants. Clear hai? Yes. Now, so these are the different modification or the adaptations which we find in the xerophytic plants. First of all, the leaves may be modified into spines or needle-like structure so that the transpiration rate will be less. Then the leaves may be folded or rolled up, right? So that the transpiration rate will be less, उसका surface area कम हो जाएगा. Thirdly, the leaves may be shade, जैसे deciduous plants में होता है. क्या होता है? When there is the to check the rate of transpiration or to reduce the transpiration rate, they shade off their leaves. Yes, in a certain region. In a certain season. Right, so all these are done due to the reduction of the surface area of the leaves so that for the photosynthesis to occur, and definitely the stem will be modified into like the space where photosynthesis can take place. जैसे cactus में होता है, if you think about the cactus, the broad things which we can see, these are basically the stems which are green in color जहाँ photosynthesis रहता है, and the spines which are present over there, these are basically the modified leaves. Okay, जहाँ photosynthesis नहीं होता. क्यों? क्योंकि these had been reduced its surface area so that transpiration rate will be very much less. Up to this much clear है ना बेटा? Yes. Any confusion till now? You can ask me in the chat box. Yes? Okay. Now let's move on to the anatomical adaptation. उसका like plants का xerophytic plants के अंदर क्या क्या adaptation हो सकते हैं? First of all, there may be the presence of the sunken stomata. Sunken stomata कहाँ दिखने में रहता है? Same thing, we generally see this sunken stomata in the acacia, pine trees, cactus. Okay, opuntia मतलब cactus ही है. Okay, so these are the different trees which are basically growing in the desert region. So here the stomata are hidden. ये sunken stomata का मतलब है hidden stomata. कैसे रहता है? They make a pit. Okay, they make a very small pit within which the stomata are present. Why they are present within that? So that the stomata will not open at the very fast, and definitely the transpiration rate will be checked over there. It will reduce the rate of transpiration. Clear hai? Secondly, we can see the thick waxy layer. Okay, the thick waxy layer जो upper epidermis of the leaves में रहता है, which we call as the cuticle. तो cuticle ज़्यादा ठीक अगर हो जाएंगे तो definitely the stomatal transpiration कम हो जाएगा, right, and the transpiration rate will be lesser. Then there are various shrubs and the trees where waterproof regions are also there on the bark or on the covering of the cork or the bark, which also again check the rate of transpiration. Multiple epidermis may be developed so in some of the leaves definitely, which will again check the transpiration, and cuticized hairs, scales which can be present on the leaf surface, again they will help to reduce the transpiration rate. So these are the different anatomical adaptations which are found on the different desert plants and the special types of plants, like nerium में होता है ये sunken stomata, right? So ये nerium में रहता है sunken stomata which check the rate of the transpiration. So up to this much clear, what are the different adaptation made by the xerophytic plants to reduce the to reduce the process of transpiration? Yes. Okay. तो अभी रिडक्शन ऑफ द ट्रांसपिरेशन के बारे में तो ऑलरेडी मैंने बोल दिया, और ट्रांसपिरेशन अगर ज़्यादा हो जाएंगे तो क्या होगा? डेफिनेटली आई हैव ऑलरेडी मेंशन्ड कि definitely extra loss of the water or excessive loss of water can lead to the death of the plant, right? So that is bad, or we can say that the it is the evil, we can say it acts as an evil in the plant, right? But the transpiration has a lot of importances or the functions. It creates a lot of different things. It helps the plant in different ways. That is why this transpiration is the process of transpiration is known as the necessary evil. ठीक है? नेसेसरी क्यों? क्योंकि उसका बहुत सारे फंक्शंस है. यस, और evil क्यों? क्योंकि अगर ट्रांसपिरेशन बंद हो जाएंगे तो डेफिनेटली इट विल द प्लांट विल डाई. यस, तो हम अभी देखेंगे कि ट्रांसपिरेशन का अच्छा वाला साइड क्या क्या है. Okay, so what are the main functions of the transpiration? First one is transpiration helps in transportation of the water and minerals, right? So the water and minerals will be absorbed by the roots from the soil, and then it will go through the xylem vessel and it will be distributed towards the different parts of the plant. So this is all done due to the production of a transpiration pool. We have already mentioned what is transpiration pool. So transpiration pool will help to pull more and more water molecules from the lower portion of the plant to the upper region of the plant. Clear hai? Coming to the second thing, due to the continuous elimination of the water, क्या होगा? There will be the balance of the water which can be maintained within the plant. तो जितना excess amount of water है वो अगर निकल जाएंगे तो water salt का एक total balance maintained रहेंगे plant के body में, right? Coming to the third thing, ये जो transpiration होता है it keeps the cells rigid. ये cells को turgid rigid condition में maintain करता है, as well as it maintain the process of osmosis. This osmosis and the rigidity of the plant cell is very much important for maintaining all the physiological functions of the plant body, right? And finally ये जो suction force create करता है which is done by the transpiration pool, this also helps in the maintaining a proper channel or a proper column of the water inside the plant body. Clear up to this much? Yes. Now coming to the next point, that is there are certain region where the salt, the hydrophilic salts are accumulated within the plant body. right? Which basically, due to the transpiration, the water will also be distributed to those region, and these salt molecules will be hydrated. Always it will give a moist to the leaves. Yes. Next, turgidity maintain karega, and this turgidity also will help in the cell division within the plant body, क्योंकि cell division तो growth and development में के लिए always चाहिए ना. Yes, do you agree कि growth and development के लिए always cell division is very much necessary, whether it is a plant or an animal, right? Then optimum transpiration helps in the proper growth of the plant. अगर transpiration अच्छे से होगा तो definitely growth and development अच्छे से होगा. And last but not the least, it will give a proper cooling effect to the plant. Yes, so that is why this transpiration is giving a lot of different helpfulness, or we can say the advantages to the plant body. And the very important thing is that this transpiration is a secret which gives rainfall to the forest. How? As I have already mentioned कि transpiration होगा तभी तो water loss होगा. It will go in the form of water vapor in the environment. It will go to upper atmosphere. It will form the cloud, and finally the precipitation will take place, right? It will all happen due to transpiration. तो सबसे ज्यादा ट्रांसपिरेशन कहाँ होगा? फॉरेस्ट में. सबसे ज्यादा जहाँ ट्रीज होगा, एंड दैट इज वाई रेन फॉरेस्ट में सबसे ज्यादा रेनफॉल होता है. Understood? It basically balances the whole water cycle. Now let's move on to the next part. Have you ever heard of the different substances जो transpiration rate को reduce कर देते हैं? या फिर ये process को क्या कहते हैं, या फिर वो substances को क्या कहते हैं? Any idea? Yes. Basically they are known as the anti-transpirants. So the anti-transpirants is nothing but the chemical which are used artificially. हम artificially ये chemicals को spray करते हैं plants के ऊपर, ताकि for a long period of time the flowers and all will remain moist. Okay, transpiration rate will be less, and definitely it will remain moist. Basically we can find this in the flower markets. Okay, they spray in the bouquet of the flower. Yes, so bouquet में क्या करते हैं, ये अगर spray कर देंगे anti transparent, तो the loss of water will not take place that much easily or that much fast, and the flowers will will remain moist or remain properly for a long period of time, like uh, maybe for a week also, sometimes in extreme cases. Okay, so these chemicals are nothing but these are made up of the plastic resins, or sometimes the waxes which are having very low viscosity, or it can be the silicon oil sometimes. Okay, they are basically sprayed over the fruits, vegetables, or we can say the flowers also, so that it can remain moist for a long period of time. Loss of water नहीं होगा. So these are the certain chemicals. Always remember the names: phenyl mercuric acetate and abscisic acid. Okay, abscisic acid is another plant hormone also. Okay, so how it basically reacts? So when the transpirants are sprayed over the leaves, fruits, flowers, vegetables, तो वो एक film जैसे बना देते हैं on the surface of those flowers and all. राइट तो ये फिल्म से क्या होगा, रेस्पिरेशन और द गैसेस एक्सचेंज, रेस्पिरेटरी गैसेस एक्सचेंज हो सकते हैं, पर वाटर वेपर का लॉस नहीं हो सकता, एंड दैट कीप्स द वाटर इंटैक्ट इनसाइड द बॉडी ऑफ द फ्रूट्स, फ्लावर्स एंड वेजिटेबल, which make them keeping their body moist and prevent the loss of water or drying up of the flowers. Fine. Chalo. Now can you tell me, how do you think that some plants directly lose the water from their body? Yes. How does it take place? Yes, we have already studied about the transpiration only, jahan water vapor, in the form of water vapor, the water go out of the plant body. अभी कोई ऐसा है कि water directly lose हो जाता है plant body से? Yes. Definitely, there are two main processes by which the liquid form of water go out of their body, not as a water vapor. It goes out in the form of water only, liquid water. क्या क्या है ये दोनों? One is the guttation and the second one is the bleeding. ठीक है. Now first we will study about the guttation. Mainly we can see this guttation in the low temperature, like not very low temperature, we can say um, जहाँ ह्यूमिडिटी ज़्यादा है, मॉर्निंग टाइम में, अर्ली मॉर्निंग टाइम में, या फिर रात को जब स्टोमाटा ओपन नहीं हो सकता है, तब क्या होता है, द एक्सेस वाटर गो आउट ऑफ द प्लांट बॉडी थ्रू द एजेस ऑफ द लीव्स. Okay, through the margin of the leaves they go out of the plant body and they comes out as the water droplets. ये water droplets कहाँ से निकलेंगे? Through the hydrothode. Always remember that transpiration takes place through the pores which are known as the stomata, and guttation takes place through the pores which are known as the hydrothode. ये hydrothode कहाँ रहता है? In the margin of the leaves. So through the margin of the leaves the whole cell sap comes out, and this process is known as exudation or guttation. Clear है? A very important question is what do you mean by guttation and what is the difference between transpiration and guttation? ये बहुत important question जो board exam में आते हैं. देखो, look at the picture of the leaf. So you can see the water droplets which are coming out from the margin of the leaves. Similarly, the same thing, this is not the dew drops. Do not just mix it up or misunderstand these as the dew drops. These are basically the guttation. Okay, the water, excess water, when the stomata is totally closed and transpiration doesn't take place through the stomata, what will happen? The excess water will come out through the margin of the leaves, and this process is known as the guttation. Clear hai? Yes, so the guttation takes place due to the increased hydrostatic pressure. इसके अंदर जो water का pressure है वो ज़्यादा increase हो जाने से ये निकल के आ जाते हैं, right? And when the pressure इतना ज़्यादा हो जाता है कि turgid हो जाते हैं, and finally forcefully ये निकल जाते हैं leaf margin से. Clear? Now, what are the different conditions which favor the guttation? आप ये always दिमाग में रखना कि ट्रांसपीरेशन का जो भी फेवरेबल कंडीशन है उसका ठीक ऑपोजिट है गटेशन. ओके, whenever transpiration will not be able to happen, that means that stomata are not opening due to the huge humidity, large amount of water in the plant, या फिर suitable temperature नहीं है, then what will happen? The guttation will take place. We already know that the stomata doesn't open during the night time, it remain closed. तो इसीलिए नाइट टाइम या फिर अर्ली मॉर्निंग में हम सबसे ज्यादा गटेशन को देख सकते हैं, द वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स व्हिच कैन कम आउट फ्रॉम द लीफ मार्जिन्स. ओके, now, the last one is the bleeding. Okay, the second one, which is the excess water loss takes place through the plant body, is the bleeding. That is, this takes place when you just cut the part of the plant. Okay, if you just injure the part of the plant, you will sometimes see that the whitish colored fluid comes out or the cell sap comes out. Okay, it may be transparent, it may be whitish color also. So these are nothing but the water along with the different salt materials. Okay, the different minerals which are present with mixed with the water molecule. So when they come out due to any sort of injury, this only happens during the injury. Always remember, तो जब कोई इंजरी होगा, आप कोई स्टेम को अगर कट कर देंगे तो दिस लिक्विड कम्स आउट एंड दिस इज नोन एज ब्लीडिंग. जैसे हमारे भी इंजरी होने से ब्लड निकल के आते हैं, बट उधर तो डेफिनेटली प्लांट बॉडी में हीमोग्लोबिन नहीं है तो उसका ब्लड डेफिनेटली रेड कलर का नहीं होगा. Okay, so this process is the same as our body, that is the bleeding. Fine. Now let's move on to a very important thing, that is the difference between transpiration and guttation. This question generally comes in your board exam as well as the pre-board exam में भी आ सकते हैं आपका. देखो, transpiration मतलब the loss of water vapor, guttation मतलब the water loss in the form of water droplet, liquid form में ही ये water loss होगा. Secondly, transpiration का जो water निकलते हैं in the form of water vapor, it is totally pure water. पर guttation में जो water droplets निकलते हैं, these are having dissolved salts. ठीक है. Thirdly, transpiration कहाँ से हो सकता है? Stomata, lenticel, cuticle. Yes, but guttation only takes place through the hydrothode. This is the third difference. Fourthly, transpiration natural process है जहाँ movement of the guard cell वो rigidity, turgidity और flexibility और flaccidity में ये guard cell regulate करते हैं transpiration को. But guttation को ये basically guard cell regulate नहीं करते. It is not regulated by them, but it is generally the result of the root pressure कि बहुत ज़्यादा root pressure हो गया, बहुत सारे water absorbed हो गया तो excess water को निकलना पड़ेगा. तो कहाँ से निकलेंगे? It will go out of the plant body through the hydrothode. Fine. Then is transpiration occur in the presence of sunlight. तो ये डे टाइम में होता है एंड गटेशन मोस्टली होता है at night time. Okay, night time or very early in the morning we can see the guttation or the water droplets coming out of the leaves. Then the transpiration cools the plant, पर ऐसा कोई cooling effect नहीं होता after the process of guttation. So these are the 6 main important differences between the transpiration and guttation. Keep it in mind all the time because this is very much important. So this is all about today's session, and I think we have already completed with the chapter of transpiration. So let us now discuss quickly the question answers. So these are the broad question answer. I will tell you how to write the answer, and please practice this question answer in the at home, okay, in homework. So I'm not telling you to write it in the chat box. I'll definitely discuss some of the objective question which I will tell you to write it in the chat box, okay. So first of all, why the stomata is present most early in the lower surface of the leaf and very less in the upper surface of the leaf? Yes, any idea? सो बेसिकली ऑन द अपर सरफेस मान लीजिए कि ये हमारा अपर सरफेस है, ये लोअर सरफेस ऑफ द लीफ है. तो अपर सरफेस में डायरेक्ट सनलाइट आएगा, राइट. सो द सनलाइट विल बी देयर डायरेक्टली ऑन द अपर सरफेस. तो अगर सबसे ज्यादा सनलाइट आएगा एंड इट विल ओपन द स्टोमाटा तो वाटर लॉस बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा. एंड ड्यू टू द ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर लॉस द प्लांट में गेट ड्राई एंड इट में डाई. Yes, so that is why the lower surface always remain under the shelter. Yes, so that is why the stomata opening and closing of the stomata will be regulated only basically due to the rigidity of the guard cell, and accordingly transpiration rate will be totally maintained. Clear hai? Coming to the second thing, second question, suppose you have a small rose plant growing in a pot. How will you demonstrate that transpiration takes place in it? What you have to write? Over here, you have to give a proper, yes, you have to give a proper answer of experiment. कैसे लिखना है experiment? मैंने already बोल चुके थे in the experiment वाला session, the first session. First, you have to write the aim of the experiment. Secondly, क्या क्या material आप लोगे, the material required. Thirdly, step by step you will do the experiment, you will explain the experiment. Fourthly, what will be your observation, and in the fifth point you will write the inference or conclusion. And do not forget to give the diagram of the experiment, very important. Yes, so in this experiment what you have to do, you have to take a plant having a well watered potted plant maybe, and having very good leaves and stems are present, green leaves and stems. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to tie up this plant with a polythene bag, tie it over here, okay, and keep it for 2 to 3 hours unlighted under the sunlight. Okay, so what will happen, the sunlight will fall on it, and finally after 2 to 3 hours you will find that the droplets of the water are found in the inner side of the polythene bag. That means transpiration takes place within that. Yes, isn't it a very easy diagram? इसमें तो कुछ नहीं है ना. तो you will be able to prove कि transpiration takes place in this rose plant, in your small rose plant. Fine. Now let's move on to the third question. Droplet of water is there, which sometimes it is seen in the margin of the leaves, like the banana plant, right? So they are growing in the wet soil in the morning. Do you think that these are the dewdrops? If yes, why? If no, why? So what will be your comment? Definitely these are not the dewdrops. What are they? They are coming out, the excess water is coming out from the margin of the leaves in the due to the process of guttation. And ये banana plant में क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि we already know that banana plant generally grow in the humid region. तो जहाँ humidity ज़्यादा है, we have already studied in the factors affecting transpiration कि transpiration उधर कम होगा, right? क्योंकि already water vapor environment में है, तो transpiration rate will be less and the excess water will come through the margin of the leaves by guttation. Fine. Quickly coming to the fourth question, that is, how does the opening and the closing of the stomata regulate the transpiration process? Opening होगा तो क्या होगा? Transpiration ज़्यादा होगा या कम होगा? Due to the opening of the stomata, transpiration will be increased. Transpiration increases, and closing of the stomata, transpiration decreases. ठीक है? Okay, this is how the opening and the closing of the stomata will affect or regulate the transpiration process. Isn't it very easy? Yes, you have to write it on your own words. Now quickly give me the answer. These are all the one word answer. Quickly give me in the chat box. First is the opening on the stem through which the transpiration occur. Quickly give me the answer. What is the name of the opening of this stem known as, which basically through which the transpiration occur? Let me see who can give me the first answer. Quickly give me the answer. What are the opening of the stems called? Stem में कौन सा opening रहता है, या फिर वो open ही रहता है, वो opening closing नहीं होता स्टोमाटा की तरह? Yes, तो स्टोमाटा तो नहीं होगा. क्या है स्टेम में? Lenticels, right? Yes. Now coming to the second question, the process by which the intact plants loses water in the form of droplets. Water droplets के तरह कौन से process से water loss होता है? The intact plants loses the water in the form of water droplets. It is not in the form of water vapor. So definitely it will not be transpiration. What is the name of the process then? Yes, we have studied today. It comes out through the spores, which are known as the hydathode. Yes, leaf margin से ये water droplets निकल के आते हैं, right? Through the leaf margins it comes out, right? What is it called? It is known as guttation. Okay. Now coming to the third question. Hi Usha, how are you? Okay, Usha, give me the third answer, beta. An instrument which is used to find the rate of transpiration. Rate of transpiration हम कैसे देखते हैं? By using which instrument? कौन से instrument से हम rate of transpiration को determine करते हैं? I'm fine, beta. Quickly give me the answer. The instrument which helps to find out the rate of transpiration. Yes, we have studied two methods. Remember, weighing method and the potometer method. So, potometer is the instrument which helps to measure the rate of transpiration. Quickly give me the fourth answer. A plant where the sunken stomata is present. The presence of the sunken stomata. Yes, in which plant we can find the sunken stomata? Yes, it can be the Nereis. Yes, Nereis species. Coming to the fifth one, the apparatus again, which will record the rate of transpiration. It will be the same like the potometer. We can also call it as the Ganong potometer. Ganong Stomata. Right? Hi, Monica. Second, next, the sixth one. Any two parts of the leaf which allow the transpiration. लीफ से ट्रांसपिरेशन कौन सी पार्ट से होता है? यस, क्विकली. लीव्स दैट विल शो द ट्रांसपिरेशन. यस, क्यूटिकल से होता है एंड डेफिनेटली स्टोमाटा से होगा. Yes. Coming to the seventh question, the structure of the leaf that allow the guttation. लीफ का कौन सी स्ट्रक्चर से गटेशन होता है? Yes, this is the hydrothode, right? And the last question, the loss of water as the droplet in the form of the margin of the leaves. The same thing we have already studied, that is guttation. Okay, so this type of one word answer on one word question can come in your exam, school exam as well as the board exam, right? Yes, practice all these types of question. Let me give you some of one fun fact, that is guttation was discovered by Bergerstein in 1887. Okay, and you already know what is guttation, nothing but the oozing out of the excess xylem sap through the leaves, the margin of the leaves, like grass mein hota hai. So this is all about today's session. We have already discussed a lot about the transpiration, like the transpiration pool, which is created by evaporation. Then we have studied about the opening and the closing of the stomata, depends upon the turgidity of the cell. Then we have studied about the adaptation to control the transpiration, morphological और anatomical adaptation कैसे होता है xerophytic plants में हमने देख लिया. Then we have studied about the chemicals which reduce the rate of transpiration, उसको हम एंटी ट्रांसपेरेंट्स कहते हैं. एंड वी हैव स्टडीड अबाउट कि डायरेक्ट लॉस ऑफ वाटर कैसे होता है प्लांट्स में इन द टू फॉर्म्स, वन इज द गटेशन एंड द सेकंड वन इज द ब्लीडिंग. Right, this is all, and these are the question for your homework. These are the extra time question. Please keep it in mind, practice all these types of question. It can come in your board exam and school exam also. So thank you very much for staying till the end of my session, and thanks a lot. We will again meet in the next session. So before going, let me remind you again, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any of the update of the upcoming session. And don't forget to give like, comment and share also. Okay, so we will again meet in the next session. So till then, bye bye, take care, stay safe and stay healthy.